And we are back for another episode of Not Black, Not White, American Podcast. And I am your host, Darius Mayfield.
And I'm Priscilla Comfrey.
And we are back from CPAC, people. And we have an exciting show today. One of the people we actually met down at CPAC that we both respect immensely was a former member of Congress. In fact, he just ended his term just 1 month ago. And hopefully today we can find out what his plans for the future. We have an idea of some of the stuff that he's doing, but you know, we're obviously all looking for him to run for office again, whether that's going to be a Senate run in Georgia or whatever it is. So we're looking forward to talking to Representative Vernon Jones today.
Yeah, I'm so excited. He's such a nice man and great guy, excellent politician. He really knows his stuff, and he's very kind and humble. So it's just nice to see, you know.
And super conservative.
Super conservative.
He's a big Trump fan. Every rally that we've gone to together, he's been there, coming around, taking pictures. Like, he's a big Trump supporter.
Like I said, he's so humble.
Yeah.
He's so kind with the people. Just genuine. I love that.
And shout out to his chief of staff, Heather. She's amazing. She's been great. She's been working with us, and we actually have some things planned, man. So I can't wait to get into this election season further and just start really putting on a lot of these events and doing these podcasts that are really, I believe, are going to inspire our constituents, inspire the conservative and the Trump movement, and push us all forward to know that we have a lot of work to do. Again, in New Jersey, we have a gubernatorial race coming up this year. We have the midterms coming up for the whole country in most cases next year. So we have a lot of work to do to make sure we continue being the change we want to see, but also we're a part of helping restore our country.
Absolutely. Restoring our country, and honestly, first and foremost, our state. Our state needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
And we just need to fine tune a lot of things. And I want to be involved in that with you, and let's just do what we can do to help the people.
Oh, you know we will.
Save the state.
It's going to be the same thing we've been doing over the last 4 years on steroids, because now we're, making so many more connections, and we obviously have an official campaign to do things with. You got New Jersey Women for Trump. So now it's just a matter of just bringing it all together and really just taking it home. Like, all the tools are there. I honestly, you know me, I'm probably like one of the ultimate optimists, but I've been saying this for a long time. I believe we have all the tools we need, especially here in New Jersey, between myself, between you, between all the people we know with the great organizations popping up, to actually turn this state red and make some really big gains in the House, and hopefully, ultimately, which is even, especially right now, more important, win this gubernatorial race and get Phil Murphy out of office.
Yes.
How you feeling about the gubernatorial race?
Ooh, mixed emotions. It's you want to pick the right person that is aligned with your beliefs.
Yep.
But yet you want to do what you can no matter what to get this guy out.
Yeah.
So that comes into play with what your decision is.
Politics.
And, you just don't want to pick somebody who's going to do the same thing, right? Be behind, the costume, and all of a sudden then they're Phil Murphy all over again, just with different hair color.
We call them rhinos. Rhinos. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying, they give you all kinds of yes, and I'm for that. Yeah. And then it's, oh my God, is that Phil?
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been hearing that a lot, actually. They've been comparing some of the candidates to Phil Murphy.
I just want a candidate to be real. And not get caught up with all the hype and the political, conditioning of it. I just be real and get out there. And if this is what you feel, put it out there and see what happens. And the people need to wake up. The people need to get involved. And everybody says, get involved. Okay, how about this? Research. Just find out what you want in your own community, what's lacking in your own community, And then ask those questions to these politicians that are running and see if they give you sound advice and what
Yep.
you want to hear that would help your family, that would help your community, help you, you know? Like when we
I
went to
agree.
Camden. When we went to Camden and all and all the people were coming up to us thanking us for helping them clean up, telling us that the garbage comes once a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
If
If
they're
that
lucky,
in some cases,
if
yeah.
that in some cases.
Which is the disgrace.
So when I went further and asked the woman, well, why do you continue to support the Democrat Party?
Yeah.
And vote for them? She said, honey, we don't vote. I'm not even registered. I wouldn't even know the first thing about it.
Huh.
So from that perspective, get involved because you shouldn't have to live in squalor, in filth, in, any destructive or negative atmosphere.
I agree.
And I just want to help these people. If we could be a bridge using Scott to register these people,
Yeah.
let them choose who they want. But my request is please, 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 please ask the questions that you represent to us.
Yep.
Ask those questions
Yep.
to the right people and make up your own mind, and don't just vote because the Democrats say we're for the poor, we're for the downtrodden people.
Yep.
We give. You know what? These parties have changed so much, so drastically in the last 20 years that you can't go by those labels anymore. I really, truly believe that. It's not like the Democrat Party is just for black people, right? You've always heard that. That's what Joe Biden was basically,
I ain't black.
I ain't black, right? No, that's BS. That's over and done with.
If I had feelings, that would be a huge insult. But I know for a lot of Black America, especially the conservative ones, it was a huge insult to them. And those are the type of things we're looking to rid our politics of, where people can so nonchalantly and so comfortably throw out stuff like that. I mean, think about it. This is a, 70, 80-year-old white man, telling, whether they voted for him or not, but telling his constituents that they ain't black because they voted for somebody different. That was just like a smack in the face,
so
and
bad.
it's just indicative of how really egotistical these politicians have become, and how disconnected from reality and everyday Americans, they've actually become. Because for Joe, even if he really felt that way, man, all it took was to say, listen, I understand you may be voting for somebody other than myself, but I promise you at the end of the day, I will still do whatever it takes to not only earn your support eventually, but also help you out in your specific situations, whether you voted for me or not. And that's what politicians should do. That's what politicians should be about. But we've become so divided, so comfortable. These guys have been in office for so long that it's like there is no limit to what will come out their mouths anymore.
I'm so sick of the parties, the labeling in itself.
I agree.
We're not, the Democrat Party is not just for this, and the Republican Party is not just for that. It's manifested into multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
So to even put us again, segregate or put us in that box, is wrong and way out. It needs to be discussed more, and people need to understand. You vote for what you feel is best for you and your state and your community and your family, not because this party says we're all about this and that's it, so you have to vote for us. Are you for that? Those days are done. Those days are done and should be done, and we need to put light on that and get more people to understand that it's not based on I'm a Democrat because they're for the black people. The bull. That's crazy. It's not that way anymore. Or whatever.
Well, hopefully
it's
we can get some more
we
can get some more understanding from Rep. Jones and see how he feels about the situation.
Sounds
You ready
great.
to call him and
I'm
get him on the
ready.
line?
I'm so excited.
Let's do this.
The last time we saw him, it was pretty recent.
Vernon Jones.
Hi, Rep Jones. This is Darius Mayfield and Priscilla Comfrey from Not Black, Not White American Podcast. How are you today?
I'm great. Hey, Priscilla, how are you?
Hey, Vernon, how are you?
Guys, we just want to let you know
Be better.
we are now on the phone with the Honorable Vernon Jones, man. We really appreciate you joining us today on the podcast, sir.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and big shout out to your listeners. I know they're getting the most accurate and most informed information. No fake news. You bring it straight with no chases. So thank you for having me on board.
Oh, man, coming from you, that really is a compliment. Because I was just over here, we were talking about over here how you do the same. You just give it straight. You just tell it like it is. And as Americans, man, that's what we respect. And that's obviously why we put somebody like President Trump in the White House, because he had some of those same qualities. So we just want to thank you for being who you are and being an inspiration to us all, and just always following your heart and following what you feel is right, because it really does have a major effect on all of us here.
Thank you, Darius. And you said it right. Be upfront, be open, say what's on your mind. Many people thinking the same thing. They're just too afraid to say it. And the quieter we are, the more the left takes over. It's going to the extent now where the left do not want you to identify yourself as a male or a female, a brother or sister, mother or father. And so we have to speak up. We have to speak up. And this is how, this is nothing new, Priscilla. I mean, this is how we were reared. I mean, our families, especially historically in black families, we were raised to be conservatives, fiscally responsible, take care of grandparents, work hard. Matter of fact, we didn't want government intervention because the government wasn't our friend, and right to bear arms, take care of our families, to farm or have a trade, whatever, but to live our lives and have our civil liberties. Faith-based, oh my God. Who stay in church longer than black people,
Exactly. I was going to say faith and religion.
We used to go to Bible study like 3 times a night, go to church 2 times on a Sunday. It was crazy.
Right.
You actually bring up something very important. I was going to go in a different direction, but since you brought this up, you actually just mentioned how nowadays people are afraid to actually speak what's on their mind. One thing I find interesting about that, especially coming from the community that we come from, which is the Black American community, one thing you find in that community, whether it's hip hop, the way people interact, you don't find a shortage of people that are afraid, that will speak their mind. So why do you think when it comes to politics and us trying to wake people up to the politics of this country and to the progression they could actually see if they just get out of their own heads and actually start speaking their mind and following their heart, why do you think people, people that are so quick to express their mind and everything else are really afraid to speak the truth when it comes to politics and the way the direction our country is moving in?
It's never been easy to talk politics or religion. And the primary reason is because people have different opinions, they have different thoughts. And that's a good thing. It's not like you're meeting with a group of mirrors.
Yeah.
But the issue is when you get to the point where if you say something because I don't agree with it and I want to silence you, I want to turn you into an outcast. I want to take away your ability to earn a living. I want to fire you from your job. I want to throw you off this board. I want to boycott your business. That takes it too far. Because the greatest thing about America is having the ability to have free expression. We are not, we were not Nazi Germany. We never have been. One of the reasons we left the motherland, England, if you will, is because we were tired of being under their control. The government was literally having heavy-handed on us, and our framers of the Constitution, those guys didn't have a laptop. They didn't have an iPhone or iPad. They had that feather and that ink. And when they wrote that Constitution with their God-given talents and their brain, they got it right. That document has survived the test of time.
Yeah, very well said.
If I would encourage everybody just to go back and read the Constitution. Here's what bothers me. Even with the pandemic, we have become a police state in many ways. Here's what I'm saying. I can tell you how many people to have in your house on Thanksgiving. If you have a party at your house or you have a cookout in your house, you have too many people there, I'm going to come and arrest you. Nowhere in our Constitution does it provide for, in the event of a pandemic, we become a police state.
Yep.
You can't find nothing in there about if a pandemic were to occur.
Yep.
So look at this over heavy-handedness, where now, I mean, how many pandemics have we survived? Going back to the Pilgrims.
A lot.
We've always been able to write a lot. So now, see, that goes to show you where we are, Priscilla.
Yes.
That was not even heard of when the typhoid flu and some of those other polio and some of those other diseases was out there, and people were losing their lives or their health was taking a turn. But we didn't shut down the government.
Right.
We didn't shut down the government. And when I say we didn't shut down, the government didn't shut the people down. Let me say that.
Well,
they didn't start telling us what time. Do you realize they were telling us, not because of any violence, what time we have to be off the street? At 10 o'clock, everybody has to be off the street. Can't be in restaurants. Restaurant closing. Businesses closing. That's un-American.
I guess we would ask you, why do you think that is? Because obviously, especially our audience, everybody looks at you as a great voice within the conservative movement, and you were just recently a member of Congress. So when you speak, we're a little bit more in tune because we know you were there and you saw the inner workings of what was happening. So why do you think these things are happening? Why do you think our government is reacting, so much so this time around? What's behind it?
Well, first of all, I was a member of the Georgia House of Representatives.
Yes.
I didn't serve in Washington. I served in the Georgia House of Representatives.
Yes.
Don't demote me. Don't demote me. Don't demote me.
Yes, the Georgia House.
State representative in Georgia.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Don't demote me because I don't want to be a part of that gridlock. But here's what has happened. If you look at most of the folks who use biotech companies, from Zuckerberg on down, the guy who founded Twitter,
yes,
they're nerds. They're peculiar birds.
Yeah.
They think about it, they probably couldn't even get a date before they got struck it rich.
Just speaking
Their
real.
personalities there's something peculiar about them. And in a sense, this has been used because for some reason something happened to them when they were young or whatever. Something happened to them. They had a turn of what the world is, and they went like in the darkness and created something. And they took that tool and they said, "This is my way. I'm gonna get people back. I'm gonna shut people down I don't like. I am gonna. Those who have my ideas, I'm gonna push theirs forward. Those who do not, I'm gonna stifle that. I'm gonna shut it off. I'm gonna use this tool to really take away our constitutional rights." And it hit us so fast because here we are on Twitter and Facebook. We having a good time because of the way, to stay in touch. You don't have to worry about writing people anymore with pencil and paper or email. But now, here's this thing. We can stay in touch with everybody. We can see your face. We can talk to you real time, literally. And we didn't realize the ripple effect of what that was doing to us as Americans and to our country and to our traditional values and to the Constitution. We were playing with something. We were playing. We didn't know it was fire. Now it's starting to burn us.
Yep.
And it's hurting what they're doing. I put a post out there the other day that dealt with the person who's being considered for Health and Human Services.
Yes.
And the post said that she was supportive of child mutilation, transgender operations for children, like children can make that decision. And why would you can't do that until you can't smoke until you're 18, you can't drink until you're 21, but you can alter your body as a child.
Yep.
Right.
And when Senator Ron Paul asked him, do you support it? Didn't you support it? Well, sir, this is complicated and the science is complicated. No, do you? So Facebook flagged me and said, well, my comments could have been taken out of context. I went and got the actual footage from that video, put it on there. And you know what? They didn't say anything because they're pushing that agenda. Although they couldn't say it was wrong and take it down, but they flagged it to say, well, these comments can be taken out of context because I said she supports. And she does support that. She does support it.
Yep.
Right.
or this person support. I mean, well, if she calls herself a she, that's fine. I just like to be able, when I call myself a man, they recognize me as a man too. Because right now, as you know, Darius, when you look now, there's an attack on the straight, the heterosexual male, where the liberals were trying to take us to a gender-neutral environment. And before I go any further, let me say this. I don't care who you are, what you do. You're an American. I love you. I don't care about your gender or transgender or anything like that. If you want to be recognized what you are, fine. But don't tell me that I can't call myself a man anymore, or I can't refer to my father as father. I have to say my parent, or I can't refer to my sister as my sister. I have to say my sibling.
Right.
We are not, no, let's don't go there. And then the left going down that road, and then you see these transgender bio males participating in female sports. But the left said they support women and women's issues, where you're taking over women's sports, female sports, with transgender bio males who are winning these contests because physically there is a difference.
Exactly. It's crazy.
Now they don't know what to do, but Joe Biden comes in and he supports transgender. He calls it equality.
I don't think Joe Biden.
He knows that.
I don't think Joe Biden knows what he supports anymore.
But no, Joe Biden. Look, if you ask Joe Biden right now to pay the energy bill, what to do about the energy bill, he'll say pay it. Honestly,
or he'll pay the gas
bill. Joe,
bill.
what you gonna do about the energy bill? Let's pay it. Right. What about the gas pipeline? You didn't pay your gas bill, so Joe is. We know Joe is now. Joe's chief of staff is running this country.
Yes.
His chief of staff is running this country.
Yes.
And that's when I was telling people how important that chief of staff is. Obama had 4, and not a single one of them was African American. That's who pulled the trigger.
Yep. And one went back to Chicago and presided over, some of the worst violence we've ever seen. But yet, Obama was the holy savior of black people.
Obama was silent on what that mayor did.
Yep.
Obama didn't say anything about the shootings, the nonstop shootings there. Why? Because it was his chief of staff. But when the kids were shot and killed at that school up in Connecticut, Obama goes up there and cries.
Exactly.
His home city and state, when he came out of Washington, he went and got a multi-million-dollar state in Martha's Vineyard. He didn't want to go back to Chicago.
Exactly.
Right.
And all these black people. Let me tell you, President Obama, I do not dislike him. Let me be clear about something. I support him the first time around. I do not dislike him. I disagree with his policies, and I disagree how he has bamboozled the African Americans when, in fact, he was totally under control by white liberal bigots.
There you go.
Many of them, those Ivy Leaguers, all right? Obama meant a lot to black people, but Obama didn't do a damn thing for black people.
I agree 1,000%. I couldn't have said it better myself. And in fact, I say it the same way.
He was too afraid to release Alice Johnson after being in prison for 20 some odd years, a model inmate. You got a black attorney general and he's black. And then you twice they deny her to commute her sentence, but then you go get a deserter, one of our soldiers who deserted over in Iraq, and you go and you give that person a pardon, was because of white liberals having a connection to the president. He felt more beholden to them than to the African American community. I mean, let's be honest.
But wasn't he a transgender as well?
But see, he was transgender. See, that's what I'm saying. Obama was more just like Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams cares more about the LGBTQ. Now it's LGBTQIA. She cares more about them than she does the black community. You go to the House of Representatives when she served there, you can't find nothing she did for black people.
But now she's the black savior all of a sudden.
Totally upheld by white liberals. Yeah, well, and then, and I want to play that black female card. Oh, really? Who else played that card? Kamala Harris. She wasn't black until she got ready to run for president.
She's still not black. She Indian Jamaican.
And you know what's interesting?
She is not a descendant of she's not a descendant of slaves like you and me.
So let me ask you a question. Her and Obama, let me ask you, her dad, Obama's dad from Kenya.
Exactly.
So when you want to talk about reparations, what do they get? Do they get a check or an invoice?
Nothing. They are not descendants of slaves. They get nothing.
So they get an invoice then.
Exactly.
Okay, they need to pay.
They
That's
owe
why I
us.
said, do they get a
Yeah, they get an invoice.
Especially Kamala, whose grandfather owned slaves.
Yeah. But still, Darius a little slow on that one. You caught it, right?
Yeah.
Darius a little slow. Do you get a check or an invoice?
An invoice.
All right, they need to get an invoice. Right.
They owe us.
So yeah, they owe us. Yeah, Obama's dad is not from. He didn't come over here from slavery.
Absolutely. There
He was from Kenya.
I do talk about that often. There is a difference. You know, you have the ADOS movements out there right now, and I do think there's a difference, and I think it's actually very interesting. I've talked about it on the show before. I think it's very interesting that the people that they put at the top, the minorities that they put at the top of the Democratic Party, weren't direct descendants of slaves, and I think that is purposely done as well, and it's just another smack in the face to people like us who are descendants of Native Americans and real slaves, for them not to put us in those positions of leadership. But my girl Priscilla over here has a question for you real quick.
Yes, sir, Priscilla, bring it.
All right. So we know you just switched parties from Democrat to Republican.
Uh-huh. And
I just was curious to know what your reasons were for that. What was the most, why did you really want to leave? You stated that the Democrat Party, that you haven't changed, that the Democrat Party's changed. So what are the changes that were most that affected you the most to want to say, I'm out of here?
The reason why is very simple. I'm going to give you one word. Fact. Fact.
Facts.
The facts are the Democratic Party is a party of bigotry. The facts are that the Democratic Party has used the African American vote not to help the African American community, but to destroy the African American community. Mm. Our children are trapped in failing schools by Democratic policy. Democrats want to let illegals come in here and take the resources that should be coming to American families who've been here for generations and generations.
Yes.
Yep.
When you look at the Democratic Party, now they want to destroy the nucleus of the black family. They jailed us with the crime bill. Yep. They teamed up with Black Lives Matter and stole a phrase that captured so many black people, Black Lives Matter, when in fact it was founded by 3 lesbians who set out to destroy the nucleus of the black family, the black man. And how many times we talk about having a black father in the home? We talk about having a black father in the home. Listen to what they talk about. In their mind, they don't want you to even say father. You say parent or guardian. Well, you know why that is. So when you start to go down that track and look at the facts are that the Democratic Party do not support and recruit independent thinking African Americans with conservative leaning. We don't fit in. Now, white conservatives can fit in the Democratic Party. They'll push them right to the top.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But not blacks. They have this maternal and paternal instinct that they should be responsible for us. Let us take care of you, Vernon. Let us take care of you, Priscilla. Let us take care of you, Darius. Didn't you heard Bill Clinton, when Bill Clinton and Hillary was campaigning down in South Carolina against Obama, first thing Bill Clinton said, Obama's a fairy tale. Oh, no, he can't get elected. He's black. Haven't we been taking care of y'all? Mm. When Joe Biden can come in 2020 and say, if you don't vote for him, you're not black. When he can come in 2020 again and say that blacks aren't as diverse, 2021, I'm sorry, blacks are not as diverse, Priscilla, as in their thinking as Latinos. When he can come in just last week and week before last and say, the reason why blacks are disproportionately affected by COVID is because we don't know how to go online, to log online, to look up information on COVID.
Crazy.
So I left because of facts about the Democratic Party.
Well said.
No, we appreciate that, man.
And thank you for that, because
I got to step back too, Darius.
Yeah.
One quick thing, and I'm sure I want to hear back from you, but one quick thing before I forget. You said something important, how Democrats choose, when they choose the vice president, they choose the president, they grade black people.
Yep.
Why neither one of them, both of them have black parents?
Yep.
Why can't there be one with both of them having black parents?
Right.
So they literally grade black people. They grade them. I'm sorry. Let's go back to Priscilla. Hold the line for Priscilla. I'm holding the line.
No, we appreciate that because I
feel the burn.
Honestly, I talk about that on this show all the time. And, you know, I don't think enough black people are in tune with that or cognizant of what's really happening. There is really only a certain segment of people they allow to rise to the top. Even though I disagree so much with Stacey Abrams, I would have had more respect if he picked the Stacey Abrams, a lady that was a descendant of slaves, a real black woman, to show that, yes, we really are about diversity. We really are about, you know, just changing this country and really progressing us all. I would have had a lot more respect. But when I heard it was Kamala Harris, the same woman that's been locking up African-American males in California all these years, the same one married to a white man that came from white parents, that had a grandfather that owned slaves, and they wanted to pass her off. And then you have your boss, the person that picked you, come out and tell the people like me who are descendants of slaves that we're not black. It was just really a slap in the face, man.
Right. And let's peel that onion some more. When you look at the Democratic Party and how they feel about blacks, they really feel as though, give us your vote. We'll handle your business for us. Let us handle your business. Now, you can't handle our business, but we can handle your business. And when they go and recruit Warnock, which is part of the whole team, you got a pastor for Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Huh.
And he supports a woman having an abortion at 9 months.
Unbelievable.
I mean, really?
Terrible.
I mean, and then he goes and say, well, you know, in the room, it should be just the doctor and the patient, not the government. Well, but what about, where's God in the room, Pastor? God shouldn't be in that room.
Yeah.
But so when liberals support blacks, they are totally in lock, stock, and barrel with their agenda. What has, in the first 100 days, what has Joe Biden done for African Americans? We know what he's done for illegals. He letting them in, stop the catch, and take back home, and now catch and release them. The executive order, the Equality Act. How does the Equality Act help African Americans? Yep. What has he done? Who saved his campaign? The LGBTQ community or the white liberals? Who saved his campaign in South Carolina? It was African Americans.
Yep.
But what have they gotten out of him? He hadn't come and proposed. Trump said, look, $500 million for black business, not minorities, because minorities can be somebody come from Africa and just become naturalized. And you know, minority business could be for white women. No. Trump went straight to the African American community. African Americans made much more of a progress on Trump in the past 4 years than Joe Biden his past 47 years.
Absolutely. They just said yesterday they had more black people enter the stock market in 2020 than ever in our country's history.
Right.
Yeah, that was the Wall Street Journal.
And that didn't happen the last 100 days.
Exactly.
You know, so look at Jim Clyburn. Right after he got elected, Jim Clyburn and other black groups would criticize him because he was put in black in minuscule positions. What put him in that important? Put a black as ambassador to the UN. Hell, Andy Young was ambassador to the UN 40-some years ago. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
No. What about your chief of staff? Oh, we're gonna wait try to put one on the Supreme Court. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that'll be fine. But let me tell you, they're gonna try to find somebody on the Supreme Court. Again, that's not going to want you to be called a man. And Priscilla going to have, if she wants to compete, which I'll definitely be on the sideline cheering for. If she wants to compete in volleyball, all of a sudden she's going to be competing. No. Priscilla's probably a basketball player, so she's going to go to the WNBA.
She likes basketball.
And then here comes LeBron James with a wig on. See, I want to play.
Joanna Man.
I want to play football.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Joanna Man right there.
No, La Brianna.
It's only right because I do think he's the GOAT, but man, the mistakes that this guy LeBron has made over the last couple of years supporting China and different things like that, I don't think he needs to shut up and dribble, but I think he just definitely needs to be a little bit more informed before he says stuff. And if he's exactly.
You know who's getting to him? It's the liberal whites who are getting to him. and the agent provocateur blacks that liberal whites recruit to get to him. What if he had a sit down with you and me? LeBron couldn't disagree with anything me and you, Priscilla, are saying today.
Nope.
What are we saying?
I would love to see
our,
that.
Our kids should.
I would love
You should
to
set
see
that.
that.
You should set that up, Vernon. You should set that up. Let's get LeBron.
Well, first of all, he wouldn't respond because I'm not a white liberal and because I'm not Stacey Abrams being ridden by white liberals. But I would love to. I really would love to have that conversation. Burgess Owens would love to have that conversation with him.
I think
why only meet with one segment of us? Why not all of us?
Talk about segregating.
Yep.
You know, talk about it. I mean, why don't we do that?
I'm gonna send a tweet out today to LeBron. I would like to meet with you.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Inbox me.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that today. Now I'm gonna do that today and see what happens.
Make sure you let me know. I want to come, man.
See what happens.
Tag us on that.
Man, let me tell you, I want the world to be on, because we don't have to talk about anything in darkness. We can talk about it in light.
And that's what we need to do.
Yep.
Right.
Transparency.
I mean, let me tell you where black people are. Ice Cube goes to Joe Biden and says, okay, what are you going to do for black people? Let me get back with you.
Yep.
He goes to Donald Trump. Donald Trump already has a plan going and took his recommendation.
Exactly.
He got criticized just for meeting with Donald Trump. And Joe Biden has Joe Biden met with Ice Cube? I don't know. Maybe y'all know. Has he?
No, they said
again,
they just came out the other day and said they're going to meet soon.
And
but he's already met with folks from the LGBTQ community, and the illegal immigrant community, and all that.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
I got it,
Priscilla.
Yeah.
No, I got to ask you something here because Heather would kill me if I didn't.
Yeah.
We got to go over this, right? So one of the reasons we wanted to have you on also is to talk about one of your next ventures. So you currently have a nonprofit called Waking Up America. Can you just tell us just what encouraged you to start this nonprofit? What is a nonprofit about, and how can people find out about this nonprofit and get more information?
Okay. My term ended. I didn't run for re-election this year, so I rolled out with WakingUpAmerica.us. That's WakingUpAmerica.us. It's a conservative organization where I'm going across this country talking to black, white, brown, whomever else with a conservative message, and that is very clear. School choice. Our children should not be trapped in failing schools. They should have a school to go to, a performance school, and the money follows the child. Who knows best for the parent, for the child's education? The parent, not the government. And so school choice, we're pushing also to combat, Marxism and communism and all the other isms that are not in line with our Constitution. I'm a big supporter of our Constitution, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, Second Amendment. I was attacked leaving the White House because of my personal choice on who I wanted to support for president. We cannot have that.
Exactly.
This is not us.
Yeah.
And so I'm pushing those faith-based. Look, let me tell you, being born and reared in the South, in North Carolina on a country farm, that's when I first found out I was on drugs when I was 8 years old. My mama drugged us to church on Sunday. She drugged us to church on Monday. She drugged us to church on Tuesday. She drugged us to church all week. I was on drugs with religion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that made me, it shaped my values too. Hard work, work ethic, not looking for the government. Look, I don't want a government program. I want a job.
Right.
Don't give me a fish. Let me fish. Teach me how to fish. Let me have my own business, and I can create jobs. And then I can create generational wealth. So African Americans can transfer from being the largest consumer to one of the biggest out there in terms of entrepreneurs. What you just said earlier was important, how more blacks invested in the stock market.
Yes.
There were major investors than ever before.
Yes.
Yep.
Where did that come from? Opening up the door for business. So Waking Up America is to get out there and talk about those things we can all agree with. Children, let's stop socializing some of this stuff that doesn't make sense. Dr. Seuss, you cancel Dr. Seuss. Cancel culture is a big thing. You cancel Dr. Seuss. Now, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so canceling Dr. Seuss is going to help African Americans. If you really want to help African Americans, Give us some Dr. Seuss reparation. Let's go back to all that money that Dr. Seuss paid on black people and everybody else and invest that into historical black colleges. Provide scholarships for kids.
Yep.
Taking Dr. Seuss off the TV doesn't help African Americans. Again, that's a left thing.
Yeah, it's a far left thing.
You know, so I want to have these conversations. I want to affect public policy. We're working on election integrity right now.
Awesome.
Every vote should be counted. Voter suppression is real.
It is real.
You know how it's real? Because now they want to beat you if you don't support a candidate you want to support. Now, you know, those mail-in ballots. Well, that's suppress black votes. Our votes being accounted with the abuse on that. So they want to say white supremacy. Oh, so Republicans have the market corner on white supremacy, and you got Joe Biden out there saying that we don't know how to get on the damn internet. Really? So these are the things I want to do, again, under the name of waking up America. I want to wake people up. Going back to Teddy Pendergrass, that's where I got the name from, Teddy Pendergrass's song, wake up everybody. Let's wake up to what's really going on, you know? And so thank you so much. And so that is important. They can go out there and join me, get my newsletter, make a donation to our cause. Please,
and we have them, visit us. We have the website up on the screen, wakingupamerica.us.
And I just have to applaud you, Vernon, because I think that's so wonderful that you are doing this. We need more people like yourself to do this. And it's so important. It's the only way to get the word out to people who have just been suppressed, who have just been ignored and really ignored. You know, they tell them all this stuff. But then when it comes down to it, they're completely ignored. And we want to give these people hope. We want to give them drive to become, you know, get out of their situation, no matter who you are, and live life and be free and happy. And I think I just applaud you. If there's any way I can help, Darius and I, we'll help you in any way, shape, or form.
We're gonna be doing some stuff together. We're working on it now, man.
Oh yeah.
I've just been wanting to do this for so long with a lot of people, and it's so refreshing to hear you speak, and it's so refreshing to know that you're stepping up to the plate and taking that leadership role and going out there and doing it and putting yourself up there, because we all need to start doing this.
And let me tell you this, Vernon. This woman Priscilla runs New Jersey Women for Trump. Now boasts over 60,000 members. I have Not Black, Not White American, as well as the campaign. We've done Trump rallies all over New Jersey over the past year or two, bringing out 400, 500, 600 people to We Back Blue events. So I know, I've been talking to Heather, and we're going to talk to you, and we're going to figure out some stuff, because the energy here in New Jersey, and we were just talking about this, is very, very high. I think people out there are sleeping on New Jersey right now, although even the seat that I'm running for has been held by Democrats since 1999. Before that, it was all Republicans. There are a lot of Republicans here. They just haven't voiced their voice. They haven't come out and vote. So we're going to wake people up, do rallies all over, and do voter integrity and voter registration events. So we look forward to working with you and, working with your organization and really, really just helping take our country back and really just usher in a red wave over the next couple of years.
Well, that's a good thing, and that plays in line what we're doing, and that is going across this country, like-minded people like you and me and Priscilla. We're growing in our numbers. The emerging market for the Republican Party and the future of the Republican Party lies on what? On the African-American conservative vote. They've run out of white people. They've run out of white conservatives. To be honest, they've run out.
Yep.
And so where's the new market of conservatives? White liberals are not going to come over to the Republican Party.
Right.
It's the black conservatives.
Yep.
Right.
And black conservatives can make a difference. And so they've been voting for for Democrats, but they haven't been getting anything for themselves. Matter of fact, their values have been eroded under Democratic banner.
Yes.
And so I'll be this weekend, I'll be down, I'll leave today, as a matter of fact, for Cranston Bernard, who's running in that special jungle primary to replace Cedric Richmond, who went to work for Biden. This is a jungle primary. This is an African-American, two-time Olympian, author, small businessman, parent. And so we're down there, myself, Burgess Owens, others going down to help him out.
Awesome.
Hopefully we can win that. We got a great chance of winning that seat.
Good.
He's from that area. They know him. He went to LSU. And so let me tell you, there's only one thing can keep black people from voting for him. And it's just something, one letter, D versus R. Because everything he is line up with black people.
Yep. Yep. Like a lot of us.
Because he's running as a Republican, like a lot of us. And I just hope the people of New Orleans, and they can think for themselves. I just hope, though, they consider that just because somebody has an R in front of their name do not mean that they do not have your best interest. Like it does not mean because someone have a D in front of their name that they do have your best interest.
Correct.
Vote for the person. This is a good man. So, but anyhow, thank you all so much for having me on your show. Hope I can come back in the future in the best. And Priscilla, if you and I want to get into one-on-one basketball games,
I would love it.
I can't jump.
I'm there for that.
I'm good.
I'm tall, but I can't jump.
And I'm short, but I can shoot.
And just so you know, Vernon, any of those races that you have, and I want people to understand, at CPAC, Vernon brought all the black conservatives that were running for office together there. So this is a man that actually walks the walk and doesn't just talk the talk. So that was very informative, and I'm glad you did that. And anybody whether they're white, black, conservatives, whatever they are, anybody you're supporting that, you want to get their voice out there, they're welcome on this show anytime. You just shoot us a text, shoot us a phone call, let us know, and we would love to keep up with people and keep getting the information out there for you guys.
You got a deal. Thank you so much. And Priscilla, thank you so much too, okay?
Thank you.
Not
God
a problem,
bless.
man. Safe travels. You have a good one, and we'll speak to you very soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All
God
right.
bless.
Guys, that was Representative Vernon Jones. What an informative, great conversation we just had with him.
Oh, he just...
Funny guy,
but I absolutely feel so like a fire under me now. I feel so
I love that.
passionate right now and raring to go and wanting to help all these people, any American who's feeling crappy about what's going on or is not getting the help they need, the proper help that they need, and who don't have hope, who don't have any inspiration. I want to bring inspiration to the black community that's thought, the Democrats have been on their side forever. I want to change that narrative and just let them see the facts so they can make their own decision. That's what it's about.
Well, not only the facts,
giving a hand.
It's about bringing them into the party, getting like-minded people elected, and actually being the change we want to see. Because Democrats have held these votes for so long and have accomplished practically nothing for these people. Now, Republicans have a chance to not only bring these people in the fold, but actually accomplish things that will keep them here in the fold and in this party, and with us all moving together as Americans. And that's why it's not black, not white, American. Yeah. Right?
Right.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, Vernon, he knows he's the man. And, we really, really, really appreciate you taking out the time to even talk to us today, man. That was incredible. We look forward to talking to you more. We look forward to some of the stuff that we have coming up with you and your team.
Lots
and with
stuff.
All the conservatives out there, man. Just this is a movement, guys. And Priscilla just actually hit it on the head when we've talked about this before. I know there's a lot of conservatives, a lot of Republicans out there feeling down about what happened, in 2020. We understand that. We're not saying you're not wrong. We get it. But at some point, we have to move on. One of the things that I see that is a little discouraging sometimes is seeing people literally talk about how they just want to give up because of what happened in 2020. We don't have that option. If you really care about your kids' futures, your mother's future, your aunts, your brothers, your sisters, you will continue to fight, continue to be a part of this process, just like we are. And like Priscilla said, you can call on us anytime. We're here to give you this information. And thank you, Vernon, for, when he first came on, saying that this is where you get real news, right? This is where the facts are. And that's all we try to give you. Even though some of what we say is opinion based, we try to give you the facts straight as we see them, as they're reported, and not just, beat around all this stuff and just propagate people and just make you feel good. We're not here to make you feel good. We're here to give you the truth.
And you know what else I find helpful? We give opinions, but yet we also give ideas. So if it's just anything that triggers something in your mind, take it and roll with it yourself. Find the facts out yourself, research it yourself, call us up, ask us questions, get involved, join our cleanups, join our police fundraisers or our, We Back Blue fundraisers or anything, absolutely anything. Or if you want to work with us, if you just want to work with us, we love the grassroots. We love the foundation of this country, which is the people, we the people. And we want to help everybody. We want to lift you up to find your own path. And I guarantee when you find your own path, it's going to be on the right side.
Right side, red wave, baby.
Right?
Oh, that was such an amazing interview. Vernon is the man. And I'm glad that you're motivated. And just think, I just had an epiphany too. I just had a brainstorm. I always get these brainstorms. I know you did.
I
could tell.
Excited.
I can
writing
tell.
Notes. I'm going.
We got the gubernatorial race. We got my campaign. We got people like Billy Prempe. We got New Jersey Women for Trump. We got
Americans. Americans who want to save America.
Events with Scott Presler coming up. Events with Vernon Jones coming up. Like you said, regular Americans that we can do things for.
With Melissa.
Absolutely. That's one thing I wanted to ask him about that. That's one thing we didn't get to, so maybe another time. But I wanted to ask him about that new police reform bill. But we don't have to go through that.
He's against
now we can definitely
the police.
Yes, defunding the police, but
For
the
sure.
specific bill that they actually passed yesterday, I wanted to ask him about. But maybe me and you will talk about that on next show, and maybe even get a guest that we can talk a little bit more professionally to it as well. But yeah, man, that was amazing. I hope, and I'm praying that this really excites some people out there, kind of like it just excited you, and really just gave you a renewed sense of hope, because that's what this is about, man. We are positive people. This is still the greatest country that ever faced this earth. This is the greatest country to ever grace this earth.
Never give up on America.
You really can't, man.
Never give up on America.
What if Martin Luther King gave up?
This is our country. This is our beautiful
country. What if
Rosa
Parks gave up?
We broke away from England. We broke away from the king because of taxes and being controlled. Tyranny.
Exactly.
So many people have died and sacrificed their lives for us to be able to be free, be able to talk like this, to be able to do whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want.
So please don't vote based upon Republican or Democrat with that letter in front. Vote upon what you want in life, what you believe in. Be true to yourself and save this country. Because there's a bigger thing happening under all of our feet. And I know a lot of Democrats who are good people, right? I'm not gonna label anybody anymore. All of us are Americans, but I do believe there is a group that are not Americans, that are here to jeopardize America, that are here using us to pull away from our original foundation. And that's where I put it. It's not Democrat, it's not Republican. We need to get away from that silly, segregated narrative, okay? We've all splintered out so much. Everybody has all different feelings and beliefs. And you're not going to believe on everything the same. It's impossible. But please know that America stands for freedom. It always has and it always will, and you cannot give up on that. You cannot. None of us can give up on that. So try to do your own research, get involved with us, reach out to us. Even if you're depressed and still angry with the election, reach out to us. We're like a big support group. We want to help everybody, and we want to give you the ideas for you to run with, to find out for yourself, to make yourself better and understand more, to get out of your situation.
Here's actually something to dovetail off what you were just talking about. Here's something very important, and this is what we need all our followers, all our listeners to do for us. Myself, Priscilla, people like Scott Presler, and others, we can only do so much, especially when it comes to voter registration and the things that we're talking about. One thing you guys can all do for us always is continue to spread the word as well as register voters. You can do this on your own. As long as you know the process in your municipality, you can go to your friends, you can go to your family, and just make sure you help them register the vote. That is the only way, whether it's a campaign like mine or campaigns going across the midterm or the gubernatorial race, this is the only way we win it. And, you know, one of the things I saw before with the 12th congressional district where I'm running, the last election, although there was 170, 180,000 people that voted, that was less than half the people that are actually, you know, eligible to vote in that same district. So it's a matter of turnout in a lot of these places. And I know we talk about it a lot. The only way we're going to get that turnout out, because me, Priscilla, Scott, we can't reach everybody. We can't talk to everybody. What we can do is talk to some of you. And what you guys can do is now take that information and spread it to the rest. So this is a team effort, especially within the conservative movement. So I really want to see that over these next few months, over this next summer, over this next year, as we get into election season and we go to really try to institute this red wave, is the average everyday citizen getting involved in the process of not only registering and voting themselves, but getting their family, friends, colleagues, everybody else to register. So when it comes time, when the election comes up, we're all showing up in full force and giving ourselves the best chance to put our America First candidates in office.
And we need everybody to also look into lower line.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, school council, things like that, the state house, state representatives, everything.
Right.
Yes.
All the lower line, get involved, find out. There's lists you can pull up. Just message us and we'll give you all that.
Exactly. And we're gonna make some stuff that, you know, we'll start putting out marketing materials and stuff like that, so you guys have our contact and we can start putting out some messaging about that, so you can get in touch with us, even if it's a conversation with us. We know a little bit of the process, how to get started. We want to take regular Americans and start in putting you guys in this process so you can learn how to do it, how to get involved. And in a lot of cases, it's not that hard. Just like we took this podcast, learned everything ourselves and set it up the way we did, just like I took my campaign, learned what I need to learn to get us registered and things like that. We can help you do the same things. We're intuitive people. As Americans, we're intuitive people that can accomplish anything we set our minds to. So it's time to set our minds to this and get it done. And I really see a red wave coming. So thank you again, the Honorable Vernon Jones, for joining us, for talking to us, for letting our audience hear your thoughts and understand that this conservative movement is alive and well, and it encompasses people from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. We are all just one at the end of the day, and we are all just Americans.
Yep.
So
we are.
Guys, what an episode.
Everything.
And, you know, again, thank you, Vernon. Thank you, Heather, for setting that up. We'll talk to you guys soon. And, you know, just thanks for joining us again, man. We hope you really enjoy this episode. And we will be back next week. Remember, you can find us and listen to us every Sunday at 8 p.m. at www.notblacknotwhiteamerican.com. And remember, we're on all major platforms, so iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, we're everywhere. So you can look for us anywhere. Just go to the website and they'll have all the icons there. But we really hope you guys enjoy this episode, and we will see you next Sunday.
And check out our interviews from CPAC. They're fantastic. We did so many. So.
YouTube and Facebook, go check those out.
Love you guys.
Love you guys, and thank you for joining Not Black, Not White American Podcast. Jersey.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.